Oh, this is bad. On one hand, I'm excited I have a new Slipstream. On the other hand, Twitter tells me I should be upset that it's this Slipstream. Oh, what should I do? From Transformers Legacy United, this is the Cyberverse universe Slipstream. And I'm pretty sure this is the first mass retail Slipstream that we've gotten since Cyberverse, and the first non-gimmick Slipstream ever put to mass retail. Because Slipstream has like 5 toys. And that makes me sad because I love Slipstream. I've always loved Slipstream. Even though she only showed up 3 times in animated, I've always really enjoyed the character, and I hate that she's never given like much spotlight with the other Seekers. And I'm excited for this toy, because I think it's the best looking Slipstream we've ever had. But people are mad, because it's not accurate to Cyberverse. But looking at the box, great looking jet mode. This is going to be a remold of the Cyberverse Windblade, which, guess what? Great toy. I'm happy this is a remold of that. And then here on the back, we have the robot mode and the jet mode again, and then the great art. We'll talk more about the issues people have with this figure once they're actually out of the box, but let's actually get to that point. Getting Slipstream out of the box, my first thoughts are, it's a bit of a mixed bag. There's details that I wish were here, there were design choices that I wish were different, but overall, I'm having a good time with this Slipstream. I think it's fun, it's very well articulated, I already like the Windblade mold, so seeing it as a character I also like Slipstream, it's working for me. Even though it really feels like a lot of Slipstream fans out there would like to crucify me for not having the same vitriol at what Hasbro has done. Hasbro! I just don't get it, I'll be honest. I've seen a lot of people complain that it's not completely screen accurate. By the way, you're completely on point, that's not how Slipstream looked in Cyberverse, but that's not changing the fact that I think it's a good Slipstream, you know? Looking at the head sculpt, I like it. It's a good looking Slipstream. I do wish the face was a little bit more purple. That's how she appears in both animated and even in Cyberverse. Having the normal silver faceplate I think is a little bit of a missed opportunity, but the head design is strong. The issue I think a lot of people are having with the Slipstream is it doesn't really look like any Slipstream we've had before. It's just a toy redeco. And maybe it's because I grew up with Universe and Generations, and I remember what it was like when the best we could expect from some characters was kind of a slapdash repaint with a good head sculpt. But I'm liking this Slipstream. It's working for me. But I understand a lot of people want an accurate Slipstream. They want one that looks just like animated. They want one that looks just like Cyberverse. We still don't have it. Even people who are like me and would like a new design would have preferred this to be a Voyager remold of the Earthrise Starscream, which, by the way, I would also really love that figure. But I'm sorry, I just don't see any problems here. The proportions of the figure are incredible. I especially love her big boots. And past that, the colors are perfect. With Slipstream, the most appealing thing to me is the color scheme, the purple, the cyan, the silver, the black. Everything's here, it's caught well, and it looks great. Alongside that, the articulation's just to die for. You have a ball joint at the head, it is a little bit impaired by the collar sculpting on the neck, but it still works. A universal at the shoulder, an upper arm cut, a good single joint elbow. You have a wrist swivel that's a little bit tight. You have a waist swivel, a ball joint at the hip, actually a universal at the hip, my word. You have an upper leg cut, a good single joint knee that can actually be a double joint knee if you want to mistransform, and then you have back and forth at the ankle and side to side, and you have hinges for the wings, so you can have a little bit of expressive Seeker wings. That's all the articulation I'd want out of a deluxe Seeker. It's all the articulation I'd want out of a Slipstream in general. Double joint elbows would have been nice, but other than that, this works. Slipstream comes with 2 accessories, that being 2 null rays, which is all well and good. The only issue is, the only way to put them on the arms is underslung, which, I don't know. Alongside that, the guns are a little bit too long for my taste. I wish that they had resculpted the arms in order to better accept the null rays, but, like, at least the option is here. Alongside that, like, I do think it looks okay. It does. It looks fine. And it does work when you use the articulation of the arms. I do wish that we had just gotten rid of the tail fin. I think out of everything on this Slipstream, that's the thing that bothers me the most, is that the guns don't go into the side of the forearms, but go underneath, because it does kind of throw off the look of the toy. Even still, you can get good poses out of this Slipstream. It definitely works. I could just hear her now screaming out, "Aim for the legs," as they try to take down Omega Supreme. Speaking of which, when am I going to get my Titan-class animated Omega Supreme, Hasbro? You've made an arc, and he didn't turn into Omega Supreme. Hasbro. What am I talking about? For the sake of comparison, here she is with my only other deluxe Slipstream, that being my Transformers Collectors Club Slipstream. That is a repaint of the first edition Starscream from Prime. And here's what I'm going to say, right? That is the best looking Slipstream ever made. In just my opinion, I think that's the best Slipstream ever. She doesn't look good with any collection other than the Prime figures. She doesn't look good with animated. She doesn't look good with your generations. Prime is such a striking type of design. Slipstream just can only work on the Prime shelf. At least this other Slipstream, which is still fun and still a good design, can actually go with my G1 Seekers. And weirdly enough, I kind of value that more now. I want to have a full set of Seekers. I want every single jet that they are willing to make for me, and I want them all on one shelf together, and I want them to look good together. That Slipstream is going to look better with my Seekers than that one will. Happy to have both. Love them both. I do think she's the better figure. But this one's going to help me have the collection I want more. And even without that, it's a good toy. Not the best, but good. I feel like so much of this video so far has been me trying to defend the honor of this Slipstream, and in all honesty, even though I've been excited for this toy, messing with it now, it's not the best thing ever. But it's been so overhated that I feel like I have to defend it a little bit. Like, everyone wants to act like this is the greatest travesty to ever happen in Transformers, like we're just dancing on the grave of Derek J. Wyatt here. It's fine. It's a good Slipstream. It's not a great Cyberverse Slipstream, I will grant you. But, like, are we really going to say that this is the worst Transformer of the year? It's insane to me. Like, there's so many Transformers that aren't anywhere near as fun as this Slipstream is. There's Transformers that people really, really like, that I think really don't measure up to this Slipstream. And it's just the fact that the entire fandom has been dogpiling this toy. I kind of feel bad for her to a certain extent. You know what? I guess I'm going to be the number one Slipstream defender. This toy isn't enough. It is a C+, maybe a low B with extra credit. The robot mode might have had some issues, but that transformation is still just class. There's echoes of the classic Seeker transformation here. There's a little bit of Combiner Wars aerial bot. It's still a really fun transformation scheme. And at least for me, Slipstream is actually better feeling in the joints than Windblade was, so I had a lot more fun doing this conversion. I also think in jet mode, the color scheme really works even more. Just look at that metallic cyan. It's just class. The entire jet mode really, really works for me. It's a good transformation, gives you a really good jet. And even though I like the robot mode, I think the jet mode is what's really saving this figure for me. Overall, I just think it's a good toy. Good transformation, good vehicle mode, a bit of an iffy robot mode in places, but overall, yeah, I think this is worth the money. And especially when you consider, like, the rest of the wave, I had a better time with this figure than I did with G1 Universe Optimus, to be honest with you. And I really heaped some praise on that guy. I just don't understand why people have targeted this Slipstream. I know I've said it like 50 times in this review, I just don't understand it. Overall, I would give Slipstream a recommend, especially if you want a complete Seeker collection. I think you need a Slipstream. And I'm going to say it again, I like the toy. It's not the best toy ever. I think out of the wave, my favorite is still that animated Motormaster, but this is still really, really solid. And besides, you think I just bust out this throne for anyone? No. I don't let just any schlub sit in the throne, okay? You have to be a good toy and a good character to get that throne treatment in a review like this, okay? So Slipstream, doing pretty alright in life. Look, you want to know the real reason I'm excited to have this Slipstream finally? This is one of my favorite shelves. The Seekers have always been my favorite subgroup of Decepticons, and for as many years I've had this shelf, It's always felt like I was missing someone. Yeah, that feels pretty good.